I didn't tell anyone at first, not because I didn't want help, but because I was afraid of what it would mean if someone else heard it too. If I was alone in this, maybe I was just exhausted, stressed, not sleeping. But if someone else heard it, then it was real. A week later, my friend Daniel came over. He stopped in the doorway and stared at me. "You look different," he said. I laughed it off, but even I could hear how thin my voice sounded. We ordered food, watched a movie, talked about nothing important. For a few hours, I almost felt normal again. Night came faster than I expected. By midnight, my body felt heavy, not sleepy, drained. Daniel noticed how often I checked the time. "You good?" he asked. "Yeah," I said. "Just tired." At 1:45 a.m., I felt it. That familiar pressure in my chest. The air changed. Prepared. I muted the TV. Daniel frowned. "Why'd you do that?" "I just need quiet," I said. He shrugged and went back to his phone. 2:13 a.m. My heart started racing. 2:14 a.m. My hands went damp. Daniel looked up. "You okay? You look pale." I opened my mouth to answer. 2:15 a.m. The first step landed. Soft, muffled, slow. Daniel froze. His phone slipped from his hand and hit the couch. "Did you hear that?" he whispered. I didn't answer. Step. Pause. Step. Daniel sat up straight. "That's footsteps," he said. "Do you have someone else here?" I shook my head. The footsteps continued. Living room, hallway, clock. Daniel stood. "This isn't funny." "I know," I said. They reached the bathroom. Daniel swallowed. "Why did they stop?" "They always do," I replied. He turned to me. "They always do," he repeated. The footsteps resumed. Closer now. Daniel backed toward the wall. "Someone is walking toward us," he whispered. 3 steps left. Daniel grabbed my arm. "I swear," he said, his voice shaking. "I can hear breathing." That's when the whisper returned. Clearer this time, not loud, intentional. Daniel gasped and covered his mouth. "That was a voice," he said. "That was a voice." The footsteps stopped right outside my bedroom door. Daniel stared at the handle. It didn't move, didn't shake, it just waited. Seconds passed, then minutes. Neither of us breathed. Finally, the footsteps turned away. The sound retreated, slow, measured, unbothered. When silence returned, Daniel collapsed onto the bed. "We need to leave," he said, "right now." I nodded. As we packed his things, I noticed something strange. Daniel wouldn't look at the hallway, not even once. Outside in the car, he finally spoke. "That thing," he said, staring straight ahead. "It knew we were listening." I didn't respond. It slowed down, he continued.
Like it wanted us to hear.
Like it wanted us to hear every step. Then he turned to me. "And when it stopped at your door, it wasn't trying to get in." My stomach dropped. "What do you mean?" Daniel swallowed. "It already knew where you were." He never came back to my house again. A week later, he stopped answering my messages entirely. And from that night on, the footsteps started coming closer. After Daniel stopped answering my messages, I tried to convince myself the house was just old. Old houses make noise, they settle, they breathe. That's what I told myself. But the footsteps didn't sound like a house settling. They sounded deliberate, curious. One afternoon, I decided to learn more about the place. The landlord had been eager when I moved in, too eager. No background checks, no questions, just a rushed smile, and a discount if I paid cash. That should have bothered me. It didn't. Not at the time. I searched the address online. At first, nothing came up. Then I added words like incident, death, police. That's when I found it, a small local news article from 7 years ago. The headline was short, unemotional. Tenant found dead in rental home, cause undetermined. My stomach tightened. The article said the man lived alone, late 20s, night shift worker. Neighbours reported hearing movement at odd hours. Police initially suspected a break-in, but there were no signs of forced entry, no theft, no struggle. The coroner listed the cause of death as cardiac arrest, but the final line stopped me. The tenant was found standing in the hallway, barefoot, facing the bedroom door. I stared at the screen. Barefoot, hallway, bedroom door. The same path, the same distance. I kept reading. The man had called the police twice before his death. Both calls came just after 2 a.m. Both times he reported someone walking through the house. Police found nothing. The calls stopped 3 days before he died. I closed my laptop. The house felt colder. That night, I didn't wait for 2:15. I sat in the living room with every light on. The old grandfather clock ticked louder than usual. Tick, tick, tick. I hadn't noticed it before, but then I realized something. The clock didn't tick during the footsteps. At 2:14 a.m. it slowed. Tick, tick. At 2:15 a.m. it stopped. The silence felt wrong, heavy. Then, step. The sound came from the far end of the hallway, slower than before, more confident. The air smelled different, like dust, and something faintly metallic. Step. The lights flickered, once, then again. As the footsteps moved, other things followed. A picture frame shifted on the wall. A door I'd closed earlier creaked open. The clock's hands twitched. That's when I understood something far worse. The house wasn't reacting to the footsteps. The house was cooperating. The steps reached the familiar place, right outside my bedroom door. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. The whisper returned, clearer now. Still not words, but closer to language, like something practicing how to speak. Then, another sound. Fingertips, lightly brushing against the door. Not knocking, tracing, learning the shape. I pressed my hands over my mouth to keep from screaming. The footsteps didn't leave right away this time. They lingered, as if waiting for permission. Eventually they retreated, but something had changed. The next morning I noticed impressions, not visible footprints, but dense, pressed into the carpet, leading from the hallway to my bed. I slept on the couch after that. It didn't matter, because wherever I slept, the footsteps adjusted, always learning, always remembering. That's when I understood the truth. The house wasn't haunted. The house was keeping time. And every night at 2:15 a.m., it replayed what happened. Not for itself, for me. I didn't plan to confront it, that's the truth. People like to believe there's a moment when fear turns into courage, when something inside you decides to fight back. That isn't what happened. What really happens is exhaustion, after weeks of broken sleep, after nights spent counting footsteps instead of seconds. Something inside me went quiet. Fear takes energy, and I didn't have any left. That night, I stayed awake on purpose. No lights, no television, no distractions, just me, sitting on the edge of my bed, facing the hallway. The clock ticked, louder than it ever had. 2:10 a.m., my chest felt hollow. 2:12 a.m., the air grew cold enough that I could see my breath. 2:14 a.m., the clock slowed. Tick, tick. 2:15 a.m., silence, then step. The sound was closer than before, not at the end of the hallway, right outside my door. I didn't move. Another step, inside the room. The floorboard near the mirror creaked. That was new. The whisper followed. Not breath this time, a sound shaped like my name. I stood. My legs shook so badly I had to grab the dresser to stay upright. Every instinct screamed for me to close my eyes. I didn't. The mirror faced the doorway. I took one step forward, then another. The footsteps stopped. The whisper stopped. Only my breathing remained. I reached the mirror and froze. My reflection was there, but it was wrong. I was standing still. It wasn't. In the glass, my reflection was breathing, slower than I was. Its eyes weren't on me. They were fixed on the hallway behind me. Then, it smiled. I hadn't. My stomach twisted. I whispered, "What do you want?" My reflection's lips moved a second later, out of sync. "I already live here." The lights flickered. When they steadied, the reflection was closer. Its face pressed against the glass, eyes bloodshot, tired, terrified. Just like the man in the article, just like the impressions in the carpet, just like me. "I stand here every night," it said softly, "waiting for my turn to sleep." The mirror fogged. A hand pressed from the inside, not mine. Behind me, I heard footsteps again. Not one set, two. One moving forward, one moving away. That's when I understood. The reflection wasn't haunting the house. It was trapped, and something else was slowly taking its place. The whisper returned, clear now, patient. 2:15, it said. Time to switch. I screamed. The mirror shattered. Darkness swallowed the room. I didn't pack anything. I didn't turn off the lights. I didn't even close the door behind me. I ran, barefoot, heart slamming, breath tearing through my chest. I didn't look at the mirror again. I couldn't. The moment my hand hit the front door, something resisted. The handle felt warm, almost alive. I yanked it open and stumbled into the night. Cold air hit my skin. It felt unreal. I didn't stop running until my legs gave out and my lungs burned. I slept in my car that night, parked under a streetlight, engine off, windows cracked. Every sound made my body tense. But 2:15 a.m. came and went. No footsteps, no whispers, no cold air. For the first time in weeks, nothing happened. I cried, not from fear, from relief. The next morning, I called the landlord, told him I was done, that I was leaving. There was a pause on the line, too long. "You can't," he said quietly. "What do you mean I can't?" I snapped. Another pause, then softer. "People don't leave that house." I hung up. I stayed with a friend across town. New building, concrete floors, no hallways, no clocks on the walls. The first night passed, then the second. I started to believe I had broken the pattern, until the third night. I woke up at 2:14 a.m. for no reason, no alarm, no sound, just awake. The room felt wrong, too quiet. The digital clock on the nightstand flickered. 2:15 a.m. Then, step. Not on wood, on carpet, soft, careful, from the hallway outside the guest room. My blood went cold. I told myself it was memory, trauma, my mind replaying fear. Then the whisper came, right beside my ear. Breathing, practicing. I didn't scream. I didn't move. I already understood the truth. It wasn't the house. It never was. The house was just where it learned the routine. The footsteps continued, slower now, more confident, like it didn't need the walls anymore, like it had learned me. I felt it settle at the foot of the bed, The mattress dipped, a familiar weight, the kind you recognize without looking. Then a final whisper. Satisfied. Home is wherever you sleep. The footsteps stopped, but they didn't leave. I stopped fighting after that night. Not because the fear disappeared, but because it changed. Fear is loud. This wasn't. This was quiet, heavy, certain. Days passed, then weeks. I went back to work. I answered messages. I laughed when I was supposed to. From the outside, nothing was wrong. But inside, everything felt delayed, like my reactions were always half a second behind the world. People started saying my name a little differently, dragging the last syllable, as if testing it. I began waking up tired, not sleepy tired, used, like something else had already lived the day before I did. At night, I still woke at 2:15 a.m., but now there were no footsteps, no whispers, no cold air, just silence. Perfect. Too perfect. One evening I noticed something strange. My reflection. It didn't scare me anymore. In fact, it looked relieved, softer, like it finally belonged. I leaned closer to the mirror, and for the first time, it moved before I did. I whispered, "What did you do to me?" The reflection smiled, gently, the way you calm a child. "You left," it said. "I stayed." My chest tightened. "I ran," I said. "I escaped." The reflection shook its head. "No," it replied. "You slept." That's when I remembered something I hadn't questioned before. The night I slept in my car, I don't remember waking up. I don't remember the sun rising. I only remember opening my eyes, already morning, already calm, already me, or so I thought. The reflection leaned closer.
So many people
think they leave, it whispered. But nobody leaves at 2:15. The mirror went dark. Since then, things have been normal, too normal. I don't hear footsteps anymore because I don't need to. I already know the route. Hallway, clock, bedroom door. Sometimes, when I pass mirrors late at night, I see someone standing behind me, watching, waiting, barefoot. And I feel something I don't recognize. Not fear, not panic, ownership. Because every night at 2:15 a.m., someone else wakes up, thinking they're still themselves. And I finally get to rest.